Hello, hello. Happy Sunday. I am here doing our quarter 2 membership open house. Super excited. I'm just going to pull up some things. If you are watching me live, go ahead and drop down. Let me know where you're checking in from. If you're in Maryland, where you are situated in the state. And if you're not in Maryland, just go ahead and let me know. Um, Awesome, awesome, awesome. I just want to make sure that I have everything squared away as I get started. So, hello, happy Sunday. This is the quarter 2 membership open house of the Maryland Cannabis Community Partnership. I am Keisha. I am the CEO of the Maryland Cannabis Community Partnership, and I am very excited to get into our membership program that we have been developing for about a year now, in addition to celebrating and kind of wrapping up our Explore Maryland Cannabis Week. So what I'm going to do is make sure that I can get this presentation up while we're getting started. It has been a crazy April. I hope everyone is doing well. I know that it has not been the best for most of us. So one of the good things about today's presentation is I am using a software which will allow me to show your comments on the screen. So if you have any questions or want to chime in about some of the information that I'll be presenting today, go ahead and feel free to drop a comment. If you are commenting via Facebook, because we're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, it will just say Facebook user. So if you want me to say hello, if someone that I know, if someone has supported us in the past, you want a shout out, just go ahead and make sure you actually say your name. So let me make sure that this presentation is ready to go. Oh my goodness. Here we go. It has been a Sunday, y'all. It has been a Sunday. Hold tight. See something here. All right, it looks like I'm just gonna view it from here where I actually created it. Let's see. Here we go. Man, oh man, technicals. All right, bear with me, y'all. Got it. So here's the presentation here. So follow along with me as I go along here. I'm going to control it this way. It seems that this is just how we're going to have to do it. So welcome to the quarter 2 membership open house. Once again, I am your host of sorts. Let me make sure that I can get my face on the side of the screen there. Maybe like that. That's a little bit better. I am your host, Keisha Reed. I am the CEO of the Maryland Cannabis Community Partnership, and I am so honored to present our membership program, our membership open house, and talk a little bit about who we are and how you can support us in building a more informed cannabis community. So here's tonight's agenda. I won't be before you long. Give me a good 20 minutes or so, and I can allow you all to get back to your Sunday happenings. But today's agenda is we're going to talk a little bit about the partnership, give you a little bit of history on who I am, a little bit about our mission and our vision, the ecosystem, going over membership, benefits, Q&A, and then wrapping it up with a contact us. So once again, if you happen to have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Once again, if you're watching via Facebook, it will say Facebook user. So if you start your comment with your name plus comment, I'll be sure to acknowledge you when the time comes there. Back to the presentation here. So hello, from the Maryland Cannabis Community Partnership. I'm actually going to take myself off of the screen so y'all won't see me do my gestures, but hello from the Maryland Cannabis Community Partnership. Hello. The Maryland Cannabis Community Partnership is a community-focused platform that connects patients, professionals, and enthusiasts to cannabis-based businesses, advocacy groups, and organizations. We're an ecosystem of members and organizations who are invested in the cannabis community. So one thing that I want everyone to take away from this particular presentation is that the partnership is all about community. The partnership is all about building an ecosystem. We'll talk a little bit more about that ecosystem as we go along with this presentation, but I just wanted to let you know up front. Community is all we have. It's all of who we are. And in order for our industry, our community, our system in Maryland to be successful, we have to work together. So if you are familiar with our 2020 motto, it's to build bridges and not barriers. We're trying to connect everyone from legislators to patients, to advocates, to businesses, to everyone in between. We know that a successful community happens when there's a collaborative ecosystem. So in 2018, this is the origin story here. So in 2018, a group of cannabis advocates, patients, and industry members got together to talk about the Maryland cannabis industry. And just a bit of transparency here, a group, including myself, got together and we sat down and we talked a little bit about what a perfect industry would look like. And we realized that there were a lot of gaping holes as it relates to the way in which the ecosystem ran. These are the three things that we noticed. We noticed that consumers and patients needed education, right? They were entering into a new industry of sorts, and there were so many different terms like hash and dab and torches and things that they weren't necessarily familiar with, I myself included. So as you entered into this industry, you saw that, no one knew anything and everyone's just kind of grasping at straws when it came to purchasing decisions, when it came to picking the correct medicine. We also found that providers needed access and guidance, right? So the providers enter the system via a standard form of checks and balances. They pay their fee, they're straight off into the directory. But what they didn't have was that cannabis science knowledge, or even ways for patients to reach out to those who have been studying endocannabinoid science and cannabis medicine for years. There was no real way for patients and folks to connect together. And then also business owners and regulators needed transparency and outreach. We saw a lot of laws, a lot of regulations that were being passed, that were being implemented without the voice of the community, right? We saw business owners who knew or didn't know about things that they could or could not do. And we needed that transparency and outreach. And so in 2018, we stepped up and said that we would be that hub, we would be that research hub for that. So I think, and this is the part where I'm just gonna pop on with me. A little bit about myself. I am a cannabis industry professional. I've got about 2 to 3 years working in the industry. I also wear another hat in the cannabis industry where I run a community organization for women of color in the cannabis industry. So if you're familiar with seeing me on similar platforms, that is why. I started, like I said, this organization with a group of other individuals who were really interested in building a more cannabis friendly community, a more informed cannabis community overall. So we also know that we needed to support each other. We also knew that there were other members in the community who didn't have the resources, who had no idea what was going on. So that was one of the reasons why this organization exists. I'm going to head on back to the presentation. Talking a little bit about our goal, right? So big goals, we've got big goals, but the overarching goal is to empower and change the cannabis community through 3 ways: education, advocacy, and access. Those 3 pillars guide every program, every initiative, and every project that every collaboration, every organization that we work with. If it doesn't align with our goal of education, advocacy, and access, that's not something that we're going to work with. So a little bit more about the climate of cannabis in Maryland. if you did not know, here's a little bit of 101 information. There are 23 counties plus Baltimore City in the state of Maryland. And out of those 23 counties plus Baltimore City, there are only 19 dispensaries. There are only 19 counties with dispensaries in them, plus Baltimore City, serving the entire state. So as we scroll down, you'll see that there are over 98,000 certified patients registered for medical cannabis in Maryland. And that's actually as of this month. So we haven't quite hit the 100,000 threshold, but we are getting very close. One of the ways that you are qualified or certified, you're a certified patient, is that you get a proper recommendation from a certifying provider in the directory that is put out by the commission. You then take that recommendation and you are placed into the system. It's a pretty easy process, but as you can see there, like I said, 19 counties out of the 23 counties have dispensaries in them. So there's counties like Garrett County that has no dispensaries. There are some counties that only have one dispensary or two dispensaries. So one of the ways is we want to make sure that we can reach those folks in the counties that have maybe one dispensary or 20 dispensaries. We want to make sure that we are covering the entire state. If you're ever interested in understanding about where you can get those patient stats, you can always go to the MMCC website. They have about 30 days to give you a rolling update on a lot of the outreach or a lot of the statistical numbers that come out of the state. So it's a really great resource when it's constantly updated. So here is the brainchild of it all. Where are you in the ecosystem? So the ecosystem is another tenet that guides the partnership. Those are the 6 pillars: patients, professionals, industry, government, providers, businesses. Those are that's our audience. That's the community that we serve. And once again, our goal is surrounded around education, advocacy, and access. So in order to achieve those goals, we are building a large community, building a front of folks who are interested in, pushing that goal forward, serving in their communities, and, building a bit of a network. So I've said a lot, right? I've said a lot. What are we looking to accomplish? Education and training. So we are directly providing those solutions for those 3 problem points that we discussed in the beginning of this presentation. Education and training. We're holding monthly Maryland Medical Cannabis Commission updates. Those are found on our website. We recap the policy committee meetings, all major commission meetings, and any major breaking news that comes out, whether it be regulatory or industry specific. Also on our back end for our members, we have an online patient education and research portal. We have a little bit of a resource fact sheet currently on our website that is, as of next month, will be updated on a monthly basis. But for our members, we want to make sure that we're giving them the breaking and the up-to-date information, and we'll talk a bit about it more. But as an organization, these are what we are dedicated to providing to the community. Like I said, we are at the end, actually. Insert clap here. We are at the end of Explore Maryland Cannabis Week, rebranded from Patient Awareness Week last year. Explore Maryland Cannabis Week. If you hadn't had an opportunity to catch us live, be sure to catch all the replays and recaps of live interviews that we held. We had an awesome Woman Makes Moves cannabis panel on Wednesday, in addition to educational information around getting into the industry versus starting a program at a local community college, to understanding COVID-19 and cannabis. We gave, actually this presentation will be one of our actual giveaways. We'll be giving away Extreme Terps Blueberry Extreme Caramels, and another quick note there. Oh, and of course, today's the membership Q&A. So it's been a really awesome week. And if you are not a part of our newsletter community, I surely recommend that you join. That is where you get that weekly up to date, all the information that you may have missed. And as a member, you'll get that a lot more frequently. And we'll discuss that as we go along. As an organization, we want to make sure that we are doing our part as it relates to networking and workforce development. We've got verified jobs and an internship board launching next month, along with virtual networking and career events until we get past all of the COVID-19 and can navigate through the new social distancing. We'll have our in-person, but right now we'll work on our virtual networking and career events because we know that the entry level is the community that needs the education the most. In addition to the virtual networking and career events, we'll be wrapping up with some professional development and continuing education training because those who are in the industry want to know more as they grow in their careers, right? Those who are professionals want to know all about the certifications and the programs and things that they can get into. Pictured there is last year, our April membership meeting, which was pretty awesome. And I can't wait for us to get back to hang in person. Lastly, we want to make sure that we provide safe and innovative events, including our community service. In order to break the stigma, we have to be able to show that stereotype of those who use cannabis or marijuana isn't the lazy or, grimy individual. We are educated, we are smart, we are unique. We are not one monolith. So providing access getting in the community, especially those communities that don't have dispensaries, empowering those patients and those that are canna curious to be able to get involved in different aspects of building up the community. Because once again, we are an ecosystem. Our networking and social events. Last year, we had our membership meetings and we also had a few meet and greets and of course supported a number of community-led programming as an entity as well. And then of course, with our new normal, so to speak, we are working through how we engage in training and getting those updates up to you. So at this time, they'll all be virtual, but I promise you they'll be worth it. The pictures that are shown above are a cleanup and a volunteer session that we did at Movable Feast, which was pretty awesome. So let's get into why you're here. We're talking about membership, right? So this is all you need to know about membership. First of all, let's talk about why membership. So I'm going to go ahead and pop back on the screen here. So why membership? Why not? Everyone's looking for a community of individuals just like them. And there are no hubs that allow you to do that here in Maryland. Join us. Come and join, find your network, find your people, find a job, find a way to give back to the community. So that's our why. Access to events and resources. There are tons of events and things that happen around in Maryland. Why don't you join in with us and get access to those events? There's no reason for you to surf around Eventbrite and figure out what's going on or check out Facebook to find out an event is actually canceled or an event was moved. Connect with us and we'll make sure you have that up-to-date information. And of course, to support a community-run mission, because at the end of the day, cannabis, unfortunately, is still an illegal, Schedule I illegal drug in this country. So we need all of the community support that we can get. All right. Moving on to our benefits. So we got a little bit of benefits to help you get started as we are growing as a community organization here. Every year you get a yearly membership card or an addendum to your membership card that will be shipped out to you as you provide that information through our membership portal. You've got private group access and portal. The portal will have your digital learning in addition to ways that you can communicate with others in the actual community. Our quarterly membership meetings will provide our members with organizational information, including our budget, full, transparency, upcoming events, and we also are having speakers to present to the community because we believe, once again, an informed community is the best community. And last but not least, we'll have discounts to our partners and so much more, including monthly webinars from industry leaders, patients, patient advocates, those that are kind of curious. We've also got a few tricks up of our sleeve, but in order to know more, you got to become a member. So those are the membership benefits there. So how much is it? It's $10 a month. $10 a month. That's a pre-roll in the Maryland market. That's 2 coffees, maybe a lunch. Do you mind supporting a community-run organization at $10 a month? Go ahead. You can either connect with us on our website at Explore Maryland Cannabis, or you can check out how we're hosting our community platform through Patreon, which I felt was very important to hold our revenue sources, because Patreon is built for communities just like us. So let me see if I can actually get our Patreon screen to share here. I love this new software, but man, those transitions. So this is our Patreon membership here. I'm super proud of it, super excited about it. As you can see, we're creating an engaged cannabis ecosystem in Maryland. For $10 a month, this is what you get. Join our founders circle and help lay the foundation for building a more informed cannabis community. With your membership, we can move forward towards our goals of building a more informed cannabis community. Straight like that. This membership includes, like I mentioned before, you get that membership card, you get the digital membership access, which includes the portal, our private group. You get access to a private weekly podcast and live show that is disseminated on a weekly basis only to our members. That'll have breaking information, news and updates, interviews that you won't hear from anywhere else about some of our movers and shakers in the Maryland cannabis community. So for $10 a month, lunch, coffee, go ahead, support us. Feel free to check out this website to get more information about the membership. And one last thing that I want to make sure that I point out to you is that 25% of all of our membership dues goes towards our nonprofit arm, which is to aid in workforce development and mental health solutions. So a lot of questions that we've gotten in the past is, y'all have a .org URL and you're not a nonprofit. Actually, we've been working on nonprofit status for the last year. And one of the things that we're going to be putting into place is making sure that our books are right, and those membership dues starting this month go directly to our nonprofit arm, because we want to make sure that we can elevate our people with education, with jobs. We want to make sure that those who aren't able to support themselves, purchase their medicine, are able to take in those funds. So super excited. That's our group there. One of the perks of joining now, 34 days, you get a sticker of our logo. So we've got a really cool sticker pack that is dropping next week. So feel free to check our newsletter, social media, website, and you'll get a sneak peek of that, right? So let's get back to the presentation. I'm telling y'all, how are y'all doing? This Sunday, man. I have not had dinner yet, but it's going to be a great one there. I'm just going to check and make sure I do not have any comments. Hello. Thank you for joining us live. I am super excited to present our membership offerings to you all. So once again, that's $10 a month. Going to go ahead and go over questions and answers. I don't see any questions. I see some shout outs, in the chat. But what I will do is answer some questions that I've gotten via our DMs. And one of the first questions that I received was, why do we have to pay for this information? And I implore you, you don't have to pay for this information at all. You can just do a simple Google search. But one of the reasons why you should pay for this information is because you're supporting a community-run organization who has spent countless of hours to bring you the freshest, the valid, the most transparent information to your email box once a week. So that's why. The second question that we got was, what do the quarterly raffles look like? I'm so glad that you asked. One of the giveaways that we have today is that we'll be giving away a super dope mask that was created by our friends down at Decriminalize Nature DC. Next week, we'll actually be running a fundraiser in their honor to be able to purchase some fabric and help them keep providing these masks. My mask was provided free of charge. I think they actually aren't charging for a mask at all, but I want to make sure that this gets into the hands of someone who really, really needs it. Not this mask. Your mask is here. So go ahead if you are interested in getting this mask here. Drop a comment in this replay. I will be choosing someone for the mask, particularly in our next open house. We have a double session next Friday. We'll be announcing who gets the mask, how much money we've raised. Hopefully we can raise a couple dollars for Decriminalize Nature DC, and some of the other giveaways that we have there. So super excited about that. And let me make sure that, let's see if I have another one. How will you work with providers in the system? So one of the most answered questions or asked questions that I see online that we get in our inbox, our DMs, is which provider do you recommend? So we're currently working on a directory to bring together some of the trusted and tried providers that will be able to recommend cannabis to patients, provide a bona fide relationship with patients and other professionals, and also won't charge you an arm and a leg, because we all know that they do. But if you're going to charge in a substantial amount, let's see if we can work with giving you a little bit more value for your money. So we'll be reaching out to providers, some who have been recommended, some who we've just scoured the list to see in certain areas how we can support them, and in turn how we could actually offer some services to get them going. So that was the questions that I have. Let's hit this last slide here as we wrap up, because I promised you it wouldn't have been more than 30 minutes. I promise you. So if you're looking to find us online, I'm going to make the screen a bit bigger here. If you are looking to find us online, you can go ahead and find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter socially. Of course, you can always go to our website at exploremarylandcannabis.org. But in the meantime, you can find us on Instagram at Explore Maryland Cannabis, on Facebook as the Maryland Cannabis Community Partnership, and on Twitter as Explore MD Canna, because Twitter just was not here for the handles. And that's it. This is how you can get in touch with me and the team here. I'm super excited that I was able to present this information to you. If you didn't get a chance to watch it live, I'm not shaming you. I'm not. Go ahead, check out the replay. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, you can always reach me personally at Keisha at exploremarylandcannabis.org, or you can reach the organization and team at hi@exploremarylandcannabis.org. Thank you so much for spending your time with me this Sunday, and whenever you get a chance to watch this. Thank you so much for helping us get to this goal. I'm going to go ahead and head out, but if you want to join us next Friday, we'll be back with another open house presentation, giving you a little bit more information about membership, the partnership, what we've got going on for the next couple of weeks, and how we're going to build this community. So I'm going to stop rambling here, say peace, and I'll talk to you later.